What's up, guys? Hi. That was a long walk. 1, 2. This is working. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
1, 2. There we go. Thank you so much. Cool. How's it going?
Great.
Good. Good to hear. In case you just happen to walk into this room to take a break, there's a panel going on now. My name is Mcfarland. I am a voice actor, voice director, adaptive script writer, jack of many trades, master of none. I've been acting in some capacity or another for, well, I guess like my whole life, if you count like, trying to get out of traffic tickets and whatever else, but professionally, maybe like 22, 25 years, something like that. Since I was a wee one, did one. Things of note, that guy.
Yeah.
Master Roshi from Dragon Ball Z. Jean Kirstein from Attack on Titan. Habit from Full Metal Alchemist. Buggy from One Piece. If you play the video games, I'm Charlie Nash in Street Fighter 5. And yeah, that guy. I'm Paul Phoenix in Street Fighter Cross Tekken, and I'm in Borderlands 2 and a whole bunch of other stuff too. But me listing all the stuff I've done sounds very egocentric, so I'd rather just answer questions of what you guys have. It looks like they have a microphone set up, but it also looks like there's a reasonable number of you. So if we just do the hand raising thing, I'll call on you, and that way you don't have to like line up and wait there forever. And if you want to know something cool, just let me know. Raise your hand and ask a question, and if not, then we'll just play like People Aquarium and we'll stare at each other all over. Yeah, right over there.
So you produced the One Piece dub. Are you the one who's like scouts voice actors for all of the various characters?
It depends. Like, I was the line producer for One Piece for a while. They changed this setup, the company structure of Funimation. So I'm not the producer anymore. I'm one of the voice directors. I cast all the straw hats. I cast a lot of the bigger roles. But there were a few other directors that worked on it. Caitlin Glass is one of them. Scott Sager and Jason Grundy. And Joel McDonald does a lot of it now as well. I still do it from time to time, but when things like Titan or Full Metal or whatever else pop up, the show ends up being shifted to someone else over and over again, and Joel and I seem to be the ones that go back and forth on it the most often now.
Okay, so how is it casting voices for a show like that, where there's like a new character like every few episodes?
It's hard. That show is probably the most difficult to cast because I would like for it to not sound super 90s and have like one person do like 50 roles. I don't want that to happen. So we are fortunate enough that there are lots of talent agencies in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, and they get new recruits all the time, and we are made aware of their new voice talent. We have all of our actors usually do lots of other types of acting and not just the voice acting. So they may meet someone in a commercial shoot, they meet someone on a film they worked on, they meet someone in a play they were in, and they recommend people. And they also know that when they recommend people that their own reputation is on the line, so they can't recommend chumps to us, so that it's usually good people that they end up referring to us. So we have a nice influx of continuous new talent that we've been able to be, fortunately made in contact with. Yeah. Yeah, same direction.
I'm huge Bob, Z, and Super. I love Super.
Cool, man.
You're the voice for Roshi on Super, right? Or
For what?
Dragon Ball Super?
Roshi?
Yes.
Hell yeah, I am!
He's a really cool character. There's a lot of good stuff. Of course, some plot teasing down that stuff.
Yeah.
What is your favorite part about playing Master Roshi?
That I think as far as like characters in the Dragon Ball universe, it's fun to be like the master mentor type character and also ridiculous comedic relief character at the same time. If Vegeta's funny, it's usually because we're making fun of him. Like You know, like he'll be scoffed or he'll say that something sarcastic. Roshi's just over the top and ridiculous funny or naughty funny, which is also really funny. And then you'll have like long arcs like what he had in the first Dragon Ball series where he's like the mentor and he's like, long time ago these things happened. So you have to still make that sort of voice and that mentality work with like, no, don't laugh at me now, I'm being serious. This isn't a joke. So that aspect of it is a lot of fun.
Thank you, that's pretty cool.
No worries, man, thanks. Yes.
So, well, No Alchemist Brotherhood is one of my favorite anime ever.
Mine too, high five.
And I think you were also like a director when it came to the actors, I think?
Yeah, Brotherhood, I directed all I was the voice director for all of Brotherhood except for about 5 or 6 episodes that Caitlin Glass helped me out on toward the beginning of the series.
Cool. I just had like a curious question about 2 voices for one character.
Okay.
And like, it's just curiosity. I love how both of them did it, but I was just curious why Greed went from Chris Patton to Troy Baker.
That decision was made to, because it was made a long time ago, the decision was like 6, 7 years ago. But that decision was made because I wanted to make sure that there was a disconnect from the audience perspective of when you see this character pop up, of whether you know it is the same Greed or not. I wanted there to be more question to it rather than just like, well, it's obviously them because it's the same voice and it's the same character, whatever else. So whenever New Greed would have those harsh flashbacks or whatever, it became more of a what is going on? It became more of a mystery rather than, well, of course, it's a reanimated homunculus that's been born again.
I love both of them, but I'm a little
Me too,
biased.
they're both really good.
I'm a little biased towards Troy Baker, honestly.
You what?
I'm a little biased towards Troy Baker.
Well, who's not, you know? If we could only hear his voice in something, it's, you know, if people would just use him more in like every video game ever. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. Scary time. Yes? Oh.
Go ahead, sorry.
You'll be next.
Oh, okay.
Okay. No worries.
If you had to choose any voice acting you did,
Uh-huh.
which one would be your favorite?
I don't know.
And why?
And why? From an acting perspective, I don't know. Each acting challenge is fun in its own way. The Roshi challenge is fun for the ways that I mentioned earlier. Like, you can't just completely be comedic sidekick all the time if the story doesn't call for it. But things like Full Metal or like Attack on Titan, when you have so much melodrama and action going on, and being able to sell that and, you know, serve the story and serve the animation, the really beautiful animation, to make sure that everything flows well and mixes together well and doesn't stand out in a way that it shouldn't. I don't know. I don't know if I have a favorite. Just some quick highlights of things that I really enjoyed. Roshi, just because he's so ridiculous and fun. Jean in Titan, because I feel like he's the most relatable character as an audience member. Like, I would like to sign up to not die, please. Habit goes through a cool arc in Brotherhood, especially. One that's not as asked about as often, Tybalt and Romeo x Juliet.
Woo!
There you go. High five again. It's a sci-fi take on the Shakespeare tale, and you know,
I love it.
I love it too. It's suck off. And Brina, who played Juliet, she's here at this convention as well. That's a really cool role. And also Mom Dad from Oron High School host La Bronca. I think Mom Dad is a really awesome character. And yes, now you.
Is there anyone that you haven't worked before that you'd like to work with?
Let's see, as far as like friends of mine and people that I've known for many, many years that I still haven't got to work with, I'd like to work with Steve Bloom, and I'd like to work with Kari Walgren. I'm sure I could name a lot of other people as well, but I've known both of them for many, many years, and they're phenomenal actors, and there just hasn't been an opportunity where I can direct them in something or we happen to be in the same thing.
Yeah, Steve Bloom is a really nice guy.
Yes, he is.
I interviewed him back at Halloween Monterey.
Cool.
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know how long I've known Steve, probably close to 20 years, at least 15 years. Same with Kari. And I've seen a lot of their work. They're both really, really good, and I'd love to direct them in something or be in something with them and get to work off of them. I think it'd be a lot of fun. And I'm sure that there's a much longer list than that. That's just a quick 2 people that I can think of off the top of my head. Yes, back there.
So, when you voice act, how do you get yourself into the character?
It depends on the series and the show. Like, for instance, if I'm going to voice Master Roshi, I don't really have to do a lot of anything because I've been doing it for come this like summer or fall, like 20 years. So I just show up and like, where are we now in the story? I've got it. For other characters where I don't get to do it as often, I take cues from the way that the other characters are acting. I take cues from the music. I take cues from what the animation looks like. And then personally, as far as the character's own drives and motivations and whatever else, I look at it the same way as if I'm casting a play or I'm casting a television show on camera or whatever. What do they want? How do they relate to other people? Where are they in this story? Because obviously everyone individually, the story is about them. Like this is the Mike show, and this is the you show, and this is the you show. That's your perspective, and you're with yourself all times, unless you have multiple personalities, and then you have a lot of people with yourself at all times. But you have to consider the driving force of what it is that you want and what you want out of life and what you want to achieve moment by moment, and that helps you get into character. Yes.
Who's your favorite actor to direct?
I don't know. There's a lot of them that are a lot of fun, and a lot of them that are, good in varying capacities. I will say that sessions with Chris Sabat are always fun. Sessions with Monica Rial are always fun. And sessions with Lucy Christian are always delightful. And there's tons and tons of other people that are brilliant and whatever else, but that's a quick 3 that I can think of for why. Yeah. Water. Yes?
Are there any obscure roles that you would like to see?
Obscure roles that I'd like to spend more time with. Let's see.
Yeah, Jerobi?
Yeah, the Bean Daddy? Yeah. Yeah, Jerobi, the unsung hero of Dragon Ball. He's fun. There was, because they get cast for them a lot, there was I can't remember if it was cross-dress, transgender, something of that nature. I can't remember the exact qualities of the character entirely, but there was a character in Michiko and Hashin that I played. That was another man-woman type character. And I can't remember the specifics of how this works, but that was an interesting, criminal character. It was fun. Let's see. Charlie Nash, if there was more animated stuff for the Street Fighter universe, it'd be fun to do more Charlie Nash. That's fun too. Probably a lot more things and stuff and things. Yeah, way back there.
Are there any new animes coming out that you'd be interested in voicing if you got the opportunity?
All of them? All the anime. I don't get to watch a lot in advance because we're doing these simuldubs. I don't know if you guys are cluing into a lot of that stuff, but if you want to see series that are brand new, that are maybe only a few weeks old in Japan that already have a dub, Funimation.com has a streaming service that you could sign up for that. I think it's reasonable. It's like Netflix-y type rates. And there's a bare minimum 18 new series that are being broadcast in Japan right now that have dubs right now. So you don't have to wait 6 months, you don't have to wait a year, you don't have to wait anything. The most you would have to wait would be 4 weeks at most. And it's already cast, and it's already directed, and we already have the video, and it's already up online for you to see. So it's a really cool deal if you want to keep up with new stuff. But because of that, there's not things like, oh, I hope I get to work on that because by the time that I see it, or whatever, oh, I hope I get to work, oh, it's auditioning there's nothing that I get to like see that far in advance that I have to wait on very long these days, except for like movies and stuff. And then the answer would still be all of them. Yeah. So, the world we live in now. Yes?
Have you ever thought about adding Roshi's voice to any other animes to make them a little more interesting?
There was a series, what was it called? I think it was called Sakaria or something like that, where there was an old man character and Joel McDonald was the voice director. And he's like, what do you have for an old man? I'm like, well, I have this that I do a lot. He's like, that's great. So I think the character voice for this old man character in Sakaria is like 95% of what Master Roshi sounds like. So if you want to see that voice stuck in another show, check that one out. Yes? Do I like directing or voice acting more? I love them both, and they're both rewarding in their own way. For acting, it's very enjoyable. There's a lot less pressure. It's a lot of fun. The challenges are on you specifically and your own abilities, and that's always fun to play up to. Directing is very rewarding because you're trying to guide things along, and you get to try to help bring the best out of people for their performances, for something that they can be proud of, and for the work that they do, and to help guide something along so that you can show how much you love and respect the original material, so that you can show it to a new audience, an English-speaking audience that wants to watch it in English, and you know, be the best storyteller that you can, and try to help retell that story over and over again for other people. So I would say that acting might be more fun and directing is more rewarding, so you have to weigh out which one you like more that day. So, and I can't ever pick, so. Yeah, another one for you.
Are there any recent new upcoming games that you'd like to voice act in?
All the games. I don't, see, the thing with me and gaming is I love the universe of gaming and I love to be in games. I don't play a lot. Like, I typically get up in the morning, I try to work out and decide not to. Have breakfast, clean up, go to the studio. I'm at the studio for 8 hours, and then I might be there longer if I'm acting in the evening. And then I have some dinner somewhere, and then I go home and I write adapted scripts. And I do that until I get really sleepy, and then I'll stop working and watch one of the 5 or 6 television shows like The Flash or something like that. I'll watch what I have on the, oh, I haven't watched it in 6 weeks, there's a lot of them stacked up, I'll just start watching that. Or, oh, there's still more Doctor Who this season that I haven't seen yet. And I'll watch that stuff and then go to sleep. So I don't game a lot, there's no room for it to be added to my life.
Add it to your lunch break or something.
Add it to my lunch break, no, that's for lunch. I know some people who like to have quick lunch and then use the rest of that time for whatever else. I like to do nothing. I like to eat and sit there and play with my phone and look on social media, and that's my lunch. So, as far as any upcoming games, man, games are so cool. There's so many neat universes, and I love all the different things you can do with it. And I love how cool that they look now, you know, because I'm old enough to remember when you could buy your own Pong, and that was the only game that was available because that was it. And I had an Atari 2600, and I had, you know, I had a whole lot of consoles.
I still have my Sega Genesis, so.
Good on you. The last console I bought was the PS3, and you know they came out with the PS4, and I'm like, but I like my PS3. I just use it for streaming. I don't game enough to buy a new system. So I even had like I think I had an Xbox 360 and the PS3, and when I think there was like a format war at the time to decide between Blu-ray and some other type of high definition disc. Yeah, it's like Blu-ray wins, get rid of 360, don't need it. So that's how much I game, as I decided on streaming and media, other media, as far as what game system I kept.
Yeah, and games are games, so it doesn't really matter what console.
Yeah, I think the last ones I purchased were, let's see, I got the Street Fighter that I'm in. I got the Borderlands 2 that I was in. I think Dead Rising was the last thing that I bought that I wasn't in, where I'm like, that looks fun. It's a zombie killing game and you just kill them with whatever. kill him with his chair, kill him with his water bottle, kill him with a microphone. It's great. Just everything. No point, just kill things. You can go on missions, but why? So that was the last one I bought, and I'm sure that that's not new. You could probably pick that up for $5 at a used game store now. It's not even close to new.
Steam needs to update their prices, man.
What's up?
Steam needs to update their prices, because there's like a bunch of games that like at GameStop you can get for like $10, and there's Steam's like $20, $30 just for digital download.
That's a bad model. Yeah, back
It
then.
is on saved on the cloud, so.
I've walked in late and it may have been asked already, but what's your take on DBZA and your characters they do on it?
What's my take, what?
Your take on Dragon Ball Z Abridged and your characters?
Oh, the abridged stuff? I haven't watched enough of it. I've seen little clips of it, and I think those guys are very funny and very talented, but I haven't watched, I think I've watched like a collective 4 or 5 minutes in my whole life. Like, I was just like, someone like, watch this, like, oh, that's great, and I gotta go back to work. But I know a lot of those guys, and I think that their work is very funny, and they've ended up being in other anime and stuff from that work, so good on them. Yeah, I can't even remember what the Roshi take is. to give you an opinion
He's
on
like
it.
your character on steroids, essentially.
Excellent. Good call, 4-star.
And I think Yajirobe's in a gay relationship with Korin, which is...
He's in a what?
He's in a gay relationship with Korin too, Yajirobe.
Oh, and
So-
also a bestiality relationship. You know, everybody gets their own thing. Yes?
Of all the characters, so like, what's your favorite? Can I record this?
Sure, man.
Okay.
What's my favorite?
What's your favorite line that you ever had to say, and you think you can do the impression of the character as you say it?
I don't know. There's funny Roshi lines which are like, you know, they're rude and not funny. Funny. There was a Dragon Ball line, like the first Dragon Ball, where Goku and Krillin were trying to find him a date so that he would teach them martial arts. And Goku didn't understand Roshi's aesthetic as far as what he thought was attractive. So he's like, here you go, and Roshi's like, ah! Over and over again, like, not her! And I remember at one point, it was like Goku had tried 6 or 7 times with varying degrees of, no, I'm not interested in her. And Roshi was creeping around the building to see what what Goku had brought back this time, and he said, "Oh, please don't let her be chunky," which is rude and funny. So that's one. I don't keep track of a lot of them, but that's one that sticks out because I was like, "Wow, this is what's about to happen." Yeah, over there by the door.
And Dragon Ball Super. Krillin's a cop. He's married 18. They have their beautiful little girl.
Yeah, however that works out. Robot babies.
Does he still live in Kamea House, or does he have his own place with his wife?
Man, I would hope he has his own place with his wife when they made those kids. I would like to think that that's true.
We don't
You could say
know.
at the Tommy house and give them training.
Sure. Train all the time. All the training. Yeah, right there.
I heard you were directing the One Piece stuff now, recently.
I directed the beginning of season 9, and I cast all the Straw Hats, and I directed a good couple of 100 episodes of the show, but we have a few different directors on the show, and right now it's mostly myself and Joel McDonald, and I would say that Joel's been doing it more often than I have since Titan began.
Yeah, my question was, what was your opinion on the time skip material now coming out?
Who's my wife?
What's your opinion on the time skip?
The time skip stuff? The time skip stuff is neat. I enjoyed working on it. I enjoyed having following the Japanese cue of having the fake Straw Hats played by other members of the Straw Hat crew. I don't know if you guys have got to hear that yet, but that's a lot of fun. Hearing, I think, let's see. I think Sunny plays Zoro. So the voice of Usopp is playing Zoro. And the voice of Luffy is playing a little dog that pretends to be Chopper. What's that, Fox or something? Yeah, that's fun. Yeah, Eric Vale, who does Sanji, is doing Luffy. And he's doing if you watch the show, there was a character in the Thriller Bark arc called Dogwin that was a half dog, half Penguin. Very creative name, by the way. And it's basically the Dogwood voice plus a lot more alcohol. That's what it sounds like. Yay, Eric. So I think that the time skip stuff is fun. I'm interested to see. Like, I know that the story, both the manga and the anime are, what, 250 episodes beyond where we are-ish now. So I'm interested to see where it continues to go. But I don't have to wonder. I could just sit down and watch it all. But that's a lot of watching One Piece.
Could just listen to the voices and then look at the action scenes.
What's that?
Could just listen to the voices and watch the action scenes.
No, I'm a stickler for that as well. Like, when I sit down to watch something, I know people who watch, like, because their time is limited or whatever, they'll watch things at double speed and watch everything happening so that they get all the story, they get everything that's happening content-wise, but they save time. I never ever do it that way. I want to watch it the same way that an audience would watch it, so that, like, if a moment has a lot of impact, that I feel that too, or if things are paced out a certain way, I feel it the same way as an audience member does. So that way, when I go back and direct actors in that scene, I can help guide them along the same path.
So it's a notable feeling.
Yes, indeed. Yes.
Okay, so you've worked on a lot of generation defining animes over the years. So do you think, have you noticed kind of a trajectory of them to being down a different road? Because it seems like they get kind of from a lighthearted place and now it's getting darker and darker. Do you think there's been a change?
I don't know if there's been a change. I think maybe globally just storytelling changes for the better or for the worse every, I don't know, 7-8 years, it seems like. But that happens on live action television and film and everything like that. You can see something that was groundbreaking from 15 years ago and you watch it now and you're like, eh. You know, like, because that groundbreaking thing made everything else normal. Like, this is now normal. So you watch that like, it's okay. And then there's some things that stick with you forever, you know, like Dragon Ball's been around since the 90s.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe even 80s, yeah, 80s, right? Yeah. One Piece is the one I was thinking of. It's been around since the 90s, I think. But Dragon Ball's been around since the 80s. And it's still fun. And then they seem to find different ways to keep Doctor Who alive after 50 plus years.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even built into the show. They can have a new doctor. That's how they keep him alive.
How many doctors do they have to go through till they finish the show?
Well, that's up for debate now, because we've actually reached that number, so. Because I think a long time ago they mentioned that they have 12 incarnations, and Peter Capaldi is the 12th. And he's even, is any Doctor Who nerds in here? Cool. Does the War Doctor count as a numbered doctor?
Yes, he's the 13th.
He's technically the 13th, that's what I was thinking. So they've already kind of screwed up that. It's the 12th, that's it. Yeah, they're going to find a way to get rid of that. Like, it's not going to end anytime soon. So, yeah, it's way too popular. And it's fun, it's a good show. Not every episode is good, but every season is fun, for sure. Yes?
It's kind of branching off when he was asking about like a favorite line of one of your characters. Personally, for me, one of my favorite lines from a character you played comes from Estonia, from Hitalia.
Oh, goodness.
And he tells Latvia, you should really try and keep your mouth more closed.
More closed.
Just because he says closed in.
For Hitalia, because I was the producer on that, the goal and directive that I gave Scott Sager, who was the first director, was the accents only need to be kind of correct. What they need to be is general, broad interpretation, worldview correct. So, like, they need to be about as correct as Peter Sellers' French accent in the Pink Panther. So, just go for broad comedy. If it's like, that's not quite, an Estonian accent, that's okay. It's not quite Russian, it's all right. Just gotta sell it. So things like closed are like, that runs short, and we're using weird accents. Like, let's think of an accent way to extend the line rather than adding more words, and closed was one of them. Yeah, that show has lots and lots of funny lines, and some of them are, scripted by the masterful Jamie Markey, who's out here. And some of them are mostly Jamie with a little bit of the actor helping out here and there, changing a little bit of things here and there.
Yeah,
Never
Jamie
content,
actually-
just like rewordings.
Jamie actually has the line that sold me on the show, and it's from the first episode during her narration of Chief Italia. When he saw his friends again, they all become a-holes.
Yes.
Like, I'm sold. That's it. This is going to be good.
I was very recently showing someone Italia, and that was the episode I showed them, and that was the first time that they laughed in that episode. They're like, oh, I have to watch this now. So, yes, good thing to point out. We have the same go-to line, like, you must watch this show. They say a-holes. All right, what time we got here? 1:38. We can keep going for a bit longer. Yes, right here.
Well, my comment first, I haven't watched Italian now after hearing that quote.
It's really funny, and it's not a huge time commitment, because each episode is like 5 minutes.
You can watch one season in 2 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah, but anyways, you go off the recent cast and see something like Doctor Who. Which Doctor do you like?
Which Doctor do I like?
Yep.
Let's see. It's hard to pick a favorite Doctor out of all of them, so I break it down into beginning up through Sylvester McCoy, and then 90s reboot movie, 2005 reboot through now. So 90s on forward, my favorite Doctor is Matt Smith. He's my favorite, and that would be the 11th?
Yes.
Yes. It's 10 is the 10th. Yes, 11th Doctor.
I'm wearing the tent dress.
And then my favorite of the old Doctors is, I believe, the 4th is Tom Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's my favorite of the
My fiance.
giant scarf man
Yeah. My
with curly
fiance
hair.
passed away that time.
But they're all really good in some, form and capacity or another. The fun thing about Doctor Who is seeing the different takes of the individual actors on the character. Like, there are things that are built into the character that you must do, but how are you going to do them? And how is your Doctor going to be different from the previous Doctor? That's why the show's so fun. One of the reasons the show's so fun.
Yeah, that's a good point, especially now with Pauline and the 12 is kind of a gnarly Scottish man.
He is. In fact, I think whenever he regenerated, one of the first things he said, that he started talking, he's like, oh, I'm Scottish! But yeah, I also think that it's funny, as far as that theater goes, to have the newer fan base go like, oh my god, there's like a really old man playing Doctor Who. That's so weird. Like, apparently you haven't seen much of Doctor Who. There's a lot of world guys. But that is a fun series. Yeah, we're here.
What do you think of Oakman's quirk from My Hero Academia, and if there were like other interns in the show that you wish you could have?
I am aware of the quirks a bit here and there. I haven't watched enough of My Hero to know about all the other ones in the series. I think the animation style of that show is really cool. It's got a really neat look to it. And I should watch more of it. I, unfortunately, as of yet, have only seen the little scenes that I've recorded in it, so I couldn't be comparative. But I do think that Brina's little pervy character is funny. And Monica's frog character is funny. I will make more time to watch that soon and give you a better answer later. Way back in the back.
Have you ever had a funny or embarrassing moment in the recording booth?
All the time. Let's see. Directing wise, I get to see a lot of actors do a lot of really stupid things, so that's fun. I was directing Aaron Dismuke when he was a wee little baby, not the 20-ish-year-old really tall guy, taller than me guy that he is now. Stupid Aaron Dismuke. Was sitting on a stool, recording into the bowl to record Alphonse for Full Metal Alchemist, and he was getting fidgety. He was going back and forth like this, chairs, in the stool, and at some point when we were previewing, he was fiddling around and he got the stool off of the front legs and kind of tilted it back like that, to the point where he hit the back of the booth and started to slide down. But one, he thought that I couldn't see him and didn't know what was going on. Two, he wanted to be really quiet and fix himself before I realized what he had done. So I played along with it for a few seconds, like, okay, we're ready to preview, and I can hear him like way back and go, okay, I'm ready. You know, like waiting not to hear the mic anymore. Until I, open the door, and then the chair has fallen on top of him, and he's now in the bottom of the booth looking up, help. I have been around when Dragon Ball actors, have screamed so loud so much and were so hot from all the work they were doing that they actually passed out, blacked out. That's fun.
Just splash some cold water on, they'll be okay.
Get back to work. Let's see. Monica Rial is always so amused at what her characters do that she laughs after every line. And she does this infectious like this really cute laugh. And so she'll be like really serious about something or like doing something funny, and then she'll go right after everything. And you think you get tired of it because it's a similar noise, but see, she's so adorable and her laugh is cute, so it's fun to have her react to her own work. Those are all fun.
She does it in commentary.
She does a lot.
Yeah.
Her laugh is super fun. Trina's good at infectious loud laugh too. Trina Nishimura.
Oh.
Yup. Laughs. Yes?
You mentioned screaming until you pass out. How are you guys viewing the sessions of like this Inspire Guild, union negotiations?
Texas is a right-to-work state, so we do union and non-union work kind of interchangeably. It doesn't really affect how we go about anything. I don't know of any of the folks that I work with that have done the equivalent of like line crossing or anything, or like, if there's a strike going on, we're like, well, I'll do it. We don't do that. We will respect our acting brethren and writing brethren that are in the union, and none of us would do that. So as far as that goes, that's where we stand. I don't have a lot to say about like what is wanted, what is not being given, all that kind of stuff, because I don't have a particular stake in it. I do understand why everything is being fought for, argued against back and forth, and I hope that the actors and writers all get what they want, because they deserve it and more. Yes?
Do you think it would be really interesting to have certain characters appear in cameos of different types of anime?
I think that they animated them that way, sure. I'm still waiting on it. I think it exists in some capacity, some sort of DBZ One Piece crossover. It'd be like, who gets to yell the most?
I think they threw Toriko into one too.
Oh yeah, they did the Toriko one for sure. Yeah, I remember seeing that. So yeah, it depends on the show. Like I don't think it would be super interesting to have like Dragon Ball characters in Attack on Titan. Like I don't think the Saiyans would be like, well, why are you worried? It's like destroy them all. They're big and slow and dumb.
Walking in the streets of Death Note.
What's up?
I could see Roshi walking in the streets of Death Note.
Sure, why not? That one. I could probably take one more here and then we'll need to clear the room out. Yeah, right there.
Did you know there's an anime version of Les Mis running around?
No, I didn't.
Well, I came across it and I noticed it hadn't been dubbed into English yet, and I thought if you needed any options to do any acting dubbing.
Let's see. Is it Les Mis the musical or Les Mis the book?
The story.
Oh, just the story, so they didn't try to make
Like
a...
Shoujo Cassette or something.
Okay, so they didn't try to make the musical anime. They made the story. That'd be neat. Is it like Romeo x Juliet, where they made it sci-fi? Or did they try to period piece it?
No, I think it's a period piece.
That'd be neat. I would love to work on that. That's about our time, guys. Thank you so much for coming to see me.